Good morning, Grand Rising, great day, happy Jupiter Day, happy Thursday. This is Iadania, and whether you are listening to this on my podcast or watching on my podcast, if you're on Spotify, wherever you're catching this, thank you so much for engaging with the content. I hope that it encourages and inspires you to maybe do some inspired action on some inner reflection, because that's what spawned this was some inner reflection. So as I was washing my face this morning, um, I was reflecting on my therapy session from yesterday. So the healers need healing, and I have been doing some amazing work on my own and have grown in leaps and bounds. But I realized I really did need some additional support. I didn't want to always have to, if something was going on in my mental, emotional landscape, I didn't want to always have to like lay that on my friends. I'm cognizant that they have their own things, and even sometimes they'll say like they can hold space for me. I don't always want them to have to do that. So I decided to go back into therapy. I was in therapy before, pre-divorce, and a few months into my divorce, and then I ended up discontinuing, and so now I'm back in therapy with the same therapist. I'm very fortunate as a black womb holder that my therapist is also a black womb holder. So she can come to me. She gives big auntie vibes. Like I can come to her and give her this stuff, and she's going to give it to me. She's going to give it to me the way I need it, but with love. And I need that. Um, so yesterday we were just talking about some things. And so this morning, what I was reflecting on was the word abandonment. And it was interesting because I watched a pick a card. I just felt called to rewatch one I had watched previously on inner child messages, and the very first thing was like abandonment, and I was just like, okay. And so this morning, what I was reflecting on is how is this manifesting in how I engage with others. And what came up was around my desire to keep connections going. So when I talk about connections, this could be friends, this could be lovers, potential. Like it's just this desire. Like once the connection is made, I am the responsible person for maintaining the connection, as opposed to this being a two-party thing, as opposed to this being something where we're both putting in effort to maintain the connection because that's what we want to do. And even like last night, I was trying to write, but what kept wanting to come up is how you treat me is a reflection of how you see me. And I was like, I don't know why this is coming up. So this morning it's like I realized that when I do the extra mile, and it's not that going the extra mile is inherently a bad thing, but sometimes if that is not what is meant to happen, if I'm doing this because I'm trying to go against the flow instead of allowing the current flow of the current to be like carry me, what I'm doing is I am negating somebody else's journey. See, I am fully aware that I am lovable, I'm amazing, I'm awesome to be around, I'm kind, I'm caring, I'm nurturing, I am all of these wonderful things. And there is a light about me, and I am much more aware of that now than I was in years past. So knowing this and knowing that this will draw people to me, this will draw people to me who have a light, or maybe who need to be illuminated. Either way, it's a light, it's going to attract people to me. What I'm not allowing to happen is if the connection disconnects to no fault of my own, that this may be part of their journey. They may be meant to lose me. And I never really ever thought about it like that. Like some people are meant to lose you. That is actually part of the contract you and this other person agreed to, you and this other soul agreed to before you incarnated in this life, is that I'm going to meet you and I'm going to feel like you are absolutely so spectacular and mesmerizing. But I need to learn how to really appreciate that in a way that makes the other person feel nourished. And the only way I'm going to learn that there's something in me that I need to change is I have to lose something wonderful. I have to lose it. I have to lose it. It has to leave me and realize I may not be able to get this back if I don't change something. It has to be a trigger moment. And you may be meant to be that person's trigger moment. You may be meant to trigger somebody to growth. So you may be meant to trigger somebody into action. Like sometimes, people need a tower moment. Some people need a tower moment, and that's okay. And I know if you're someone like me, you're like, you don't want to see the other person hurt. You really care about this person. It's an Eight of Cups thing. And an Eight of Cups card, what you see is somebody walking away from the cups, but the cups are actually still standing. There's nothing actually visually wrong with these cups. These are great cups. They are amazing cups. They look great. You still have to walk away from them, though. And you may be meant to have an Eight of Cups moment so that other person can trigger a tower moment in the other person, so that they can grow and ascend on their journey, so that they can make the changes, take the inspired action they need to take, so that whether it is you or someone else, they can give to the other person what they need, and also realize their own full potential and how they can engage in relationships. And that's a challenge, because if you're someone like me, you don't want to see anybody hurt, and which is why you do the things that you do. You want to be understanding. You want to be like, I understand this is going on, and they have this, that, and the other thing. I don't want to impose, blah, blah, blah. But if you are negate, to what cost is the phrase that my therapist said. To what end? To what cost? At what point does your desire, your needs, the need for your cup to be equally filled, you're pouring into this other person's cup, and you keep pouring into their cup, so they're feeling overjoyed with this connection because you are continuously pouring into their cup while your cup is not being filled. At how long? To what end? And what does that look like for you? So this is something I've been reflecting on today, and I felt like sharing it because I felt like there's probably at least one person doing the same thing that I am, is saying, you know what, I'm going to, keep the lines of communication open. And it's not that you don't say nothing. That's the thing. Like there's a balance, and that's where you have to find it. Is you have to go within and see what that balance is. You have to see, am I engaging with this person from a place of lack, from a place of, I don't want to feel like I'm going to lose this person, when it's not you losing this person only. They're losing you. They are also losing you. You may lose this connection. You may mourn the loss of this connection because it means something to you. But at the end of the day, if it is meant to end, it's meant to end. And it's not meant to end because you're meant to be alone. You're meant to be without friends. You're meant to be without lovers, whatever the case may be, with however that connection is. You're meant to have partners, friends, connections that are nourishing to you, mind, body, and soul. And if it is lacking in some way, and you have articulated what you need to this person, if you have communicated, if you have tried to show them this is how we can get this done, and they have still not taken the steps to execute on what you said, you've done what you need to do. At this point, you have to, you can't be the only one shooting the ball. Give them the ball. Give them the ball and see what they do with it. And know that whatever happens is for your highest good. Yep. So that is my little bonus episode on how abandonment. And for the record, because I know this one was like, well, how did this begin? And if you were to, especially people who know me, like, a lot of times people associate abandonment issues with the loss of one of their parents. And I don't have that. Both of my parents were in the house. Biological parents, I don't have a step parent. I have two. My biological parents were together the majority of my life. So when you're looking at the things, like me and my therapist were talking about, like, we had to go further. That's a surface level trigger. Like, there may be some things further down. I even have a past life trigger Like in a past life, when I was living in a previous life, there was a trigger with a parent. But, you know, this is manifested in a completely similar but different way. So that's my spiel. I hope that you enjoyed this. Please make sure you like, um, follow if you're at a place where you're it's a follow, a subscribe, all of them a share, and let me know what you think. How do you see, if you realize you have this also habit and behavior, and what inspired action do you plan to take now that you're aware of it in order to allow yourself and the people that you care about to grow. Take care.